Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a new job queue, or if you watched my previous video, what it properly should be called is a call tracking item or call tracking entry. So probably the easiest way to start off creating a new job queue is clicking on your job queues, and it brings up your job queue window here. And then you can click on New Tracker. Now, not everybody may not have this button right here like I've got, so you'd go to File in New Tracker, or you could use the hotkey Control N to create it. So I'll go to File and New Tracker, and it brings up a brand new call tracking entry. And from here, I can write my comments, which I'll do here. I'll just go call this test. And you can see that the user is me. So this job queue, since I've created the way I did, is in reference to myself. I'm the next action and final action, which I'll go over what all this stuff means in another video. And then, so I could type in whatever I wanted to describe the issue at hand. And then I would want to maybe forward this to additional people to see. So next to the comment section, the next most important part of a job queue or a call tracking entry is the forward list. And you simply come down here and you could type in anybody that you want to. And you can continue to add as many people to this job queue as you would like. So that's one way. I'm going to cancel this one. So once again, you just go into your job queue and hit New Tracker or File New Tracker. Now, there's a hidden, kind of a hidden way to create a job queue, and once you learn this, it's probably going to be the way that you do it 9 times out of 10. And that is by using the hotkey Shift F4. So you hold down Shift and press F4, and you can do that anywhere in any screen in Eclipse. So I'm on the main screen right here, and I'm going to hit Shift and hold down the Shift key and press the F4. And then it's going to pop up and say enter tracker for a user, a customer, or a vendor. These are the 3 options you get when you do it on the main solar screen like I just did. So this time I'm just going to choose customer, and I'm just going to type in Womack test and just choose the customer here and hit OK. And now you can see that I got a new call tracking entry window. The job queue is in reference to Womack Eclipse test customer, so this is tied to an entity. And the next and final action is still me. Like I said, I'll go over that, and I can come over here and type in all my comments and add anybody else that I want to this forward list. Okay. Now, since I have this reference to a customer, I also have access to some customer information. But once again, you may not have these buttons up here like I have, so you go to Inquiry and choose Customer Maintenance Contact, AR, or Activity Log, and that's how you get to that. That's one of the benefits of a call tracking item or a job queue, is when it's tied to a certain thing, you have quick information to those items. So this is tied to a customer, so I can easily get to customer maintenance. I can easily get to AR inquiry, because usually when you create a job queue for a customer, it's because some issue on their account or some issue with their AR. So Eclipse has that information quickly and easily accessible. So I'm going to F12 out of that real quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into a bid. So I'm going to create a new bid real quick. And I'm going to go up to edit order and change order mode to a bid real quick. I'm just going to type something in, and I may see that price is incorrect, and this customer probably, well, you know that this customer's on a SPA, a special pricing agreement, and you see that it's not pulling in correctly, so you may want to create a job queue to your pricing manager or department. So from within the sales order, I can press Shift F4 to create a new call tracking entry. And now I have a couple of different options to choose from. And I want it to be in reference to the sales order, but you could choose the customer. Was it still related to this customer? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to choose sales order here. And notice that it chose the order number and then the customer number, and it already appended that automatically to this job queue, which is very beneficial for the person that you're communicating back and forth with on this. So you could say, please reference the CHDBR 120. This item should be on an SPA. And you could forward it to whoever you wanted to. All right. Now, one thing that I highly recommend is when you type in a user's name to forward, you should always, always, always add yourself. Okay. One reason is if you don't add yourself, it will not show up on your user job queue screen. Initially, it won't. There's a way to go find it. And when I say initially, it won't. The way eventually it may is when M. Pruitt or Mason Pruitt receives this job queue from me. He'll come into here and he'll update this job queue. And when he does, he'll hit new append and then type my name in, and then I'll get it sent to me. But I highly recommend and I encourage everybody to always, when they create a new job queue, always add yourself to the forward list so you can manage it within your user job queue screen. Okay? So I'm going to go back to the comments. Now, what I want to do here is I want to just F12 out of here. I don't want to save this. And I want to do it one more time. I want to hit Shift F4. And if I choose the bill to, actually, let me do something here. Let me add another line item. Let's just do 250 feet of 14.2 WG. All right, so now I got two line items. And I'm going to put my cursor on this one. And then I'm going to hit Shift F4. And I'm going to choose the bill to right here. Now look what happened. by clicking on a line item with, so you have to click on a particular line item for a product, and it will reference it automatically within the first append on the job queue. And the other nice thing about this is once you save the job queue and you go back into it or another user goes back into it, the sales order number, the customer number, and the product number are links that you can click on. It will take you straight to that. So if I clicked on that that part number, it would take me into product maintenance for this BR120 breaker. If I clicked on the customer number, it would take me into customer maintenance for this customer. Or if I clicked on the sales order number, it would dump me straight into the sales order. Once again, it's very useful information for the people that you're working back and forth with. So depending on what you choose when you press Shift F4 kind of determines what shows up on the job queue when it first gets appended. So let me get out of this. Now I'll click on this one and I'll hit Shift F4. And you can see that now the Romex got chosen. And I don't think I've ever tried this before, but we can try it in the video. I don't think it's going to do any good by selecting multiple ones, but we'll see. I don't think I've actually ever tried that before. Yeah, so it's only going to reference one. And the Romex was the first one that I that chose. But you could always state here if there's multiple items on the sales order, you could always state that here in the job queue what they are, but it will automatically put the product that you're in reference to, whatever line item your cursor was on when you created the job queue. So I have 12 out of that. So what I've done so far for you is I've shown you how to create a job queue or call tracking item from the job queue menu by going File, New Tracker. You can hit Shift F4, which is going to probably be the way that you do it most often, and choosing User, Customer, Vendor. Or you can go into any screen in Eclipse and pretty much hit Shift F4. I showed you how to do that in a sales order, but for the heck of it, I will go under Vendor, and I'll just choose a vendor. And then I'll hit Shift F4 from here, and I'll choose that Pay To vendor right there. And now I got a job queue in reference to that vendor, and you can see that it automatically put that vendor ID number in there, which will become a clickable link once I save the job queue. And you can remember, you can do Shift F4 on just about anything. So if there's a problem with the transfer, there's a problem with a purchase order, there's a customer file that's been set up incorrectly or information has changed, you can create a job queue from there. Just about anywhere you can hit Shift F4, and it'll create a call tracking entry item for that particular screen that you're on. So that's creating a job queue and the multiple ways that you can do it. And the other videos I'll go over how to properly handle job queues, and such as appending comments to job queues, attaching files to job queues, responding to them, and closing job queues. Thank you.